Hey, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we're going to be tying the Perdi-Prince, which is a variation of a prince nymph. So let's get started. The hook we have is a Dohiku type J, size 12, and you can see this has the tungsten bead and the lead body. So the lead body is a little slick and can make it hard to hold thread. So what we do is we put a little bit of super glue on the lead body and that will hold the thread. So we're going to start off with some red Veevus 8/0 and work our way down the shank all the way to the bend of the hook. Once we're at the bend, we're going to go ahead and snip off the excess and go ahead and build up a little bit of a bump in the back with thread. And this is going to help flare out the tail, the two goose biots that we're going to use, and adds a little bit of a hot spot. So for the tail we're going to use brown goose biot, and you can see that biot has a natural curve to it. And we want that natural curve to flare out, so we'll have it curve away from the shank. So for the tail we want about the length of the body. And I like to tie them on one at a time. I feel like it personally have better control, but it's really up to you how you like to do it. Let's do the other side. And at this point, after I give it a couple wraps, you can still adjust up and down. So I like to make sure everything's in a line before I move on. As you can see, we get a nice flare on that tail and everything's lined. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up to create a nice smooth body. And then we'll cut off the excess of the biots. Next we're going to tie in some Semperfli Quill sub in a small. It's a green peacock flavor. And I like to tie that in right on top and give it a little pull and take that all the way back. And then I will tie in some Veevus iridescent thread in gold. And this is going to be our rib. And a good trick is if you put one thread wrap on there, a nice slow pull, and you can eliminate having to cut and waste that material. Take this all the way back down and come up and really make a nice smooth body. And you've noticed through all this tying I've really stayed out of the gap here, and the reason is as we start to bring these materials forward, that gap will get filled and that will prevent us from having a good looking body. So now I'll take our quill sub and I'm going to wrap this counter direction I would normally wrap the thread. And we want to do touching turns on this. And with the red body, it really allows you to see if you're missing spots and you can go back and fill those spots in. Like that one right there. And then we're going to tie this off with a couple wraps. Come in with our scissors, give it a nice close cut. Then we're going to take the iridescent thread and rib it how we normally would. Four turns is good. Come up and secure this thread with a couple wraps. Come in tight with some scissors and cut off the excess. Now we're going to take a little bit of Solarez Bone Dry and give this a light coating to protect the body and to help make a streamlined hydrodynamic shape. Hit it with the UV torch to give it a cure. Then we're going to take some white goose biots, and once again these have a natural curve to them, and this time we want the curve down. So we're going to place these on the body. One, and then the second one. And that looks good. So tighten up and then come in and give these a real nice close cut with your scissors. Take a second, tidy up, give it a nice big red hot spot, and then it's a wet finish and we're done. Now an optional step would be to coat the red as well to make for a very durable fly. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And there you have it, the Perdi-Prince.